Chicago, the city that built the modern America. The city rises beside a vast freshwater lake. Still towers reach toward the sky. Trains move through the heart of downtown, and millions of people from every corner of the world walk its streets. A city known for its ambition, its architecture, its industries, and its endless ability to reveal itself. Chicago has been called many things: the Window City, the Second City, the Crossroad of America. However, behind every nickname is a deeper story. Chicago was not built overnight. It grew from a meeting place, indigenous nations, into a trading post, and then into a transportation empire, an industrial giant, and one of the most influential cities in the world. Its story is a story of opportunity and hardship, invention and conflict, destruction and renewal. Long before skyscrapers filled the skyline, the land around modern Chicago was home to indigenous peoples. The region was inhabited by American Algonquian speaking communities, including the Miami and other native nations, who understand the importance of its unique location. Chicago's geography made this special location between Lake Michigan and waterways that connected to the Mississippi River system. The area provided a natural transportation route. A short land passage known as Chicago Portage allowed travelers to move between the Great Lakes and inland rivers. The name Chicago itself is believed to come from a French interpretation of Miami, Illinois words connected to wild garlic plant that grew throughout the region. French explorers arrived in the late 17th century, including Louis Joliet and Jacques Marquette, who recognized the importance of this location. This saw Chicago not only as a place of natural resources, but as a gateway between different parts of North America. For generations, ingenious people had used those waterways for trade, travel, and survival. Their presence shaped the land long before the city existed. The first permanent non-indigenous settlement in Chicago area was John Baptist Point du Sable, a man of African and European ancestry. Around the late 1780s, Point du Sable established a home and trading post near the mouth of Chicago River. The settlement became an important early foundation for what would become the city. Chicago's strategic location soon attracted the attention of the United States government. After conflicts between the native nations and American settlers, the Treaty of Granville transferred control of the region to the United States. In 1803, the US government built the Fort Dearborn near the Chicago River. The fort was meant to protect American interests, but the story was shaped by conflict. During the War of 1812, Fort Dearborn was evacuated after fears of attack. The retreating soldiers and civilians were attacked by Patwani fighters and resulting in many deaths and prisons. After the war, the fort was rebuilt and the area slowly began to develop. In 1833, Chicago was officially incorporated as a town. Just 4 years later, in 1837, it became a city. At that time, Chicago was still small, but its future was already being determined by one powerful advantage: location. Chicago's greatest strength was its position between the East and West. In the 19th century, America was expanding rapidly. Farmers in the Midwest needed to transport their product to market, and businesses needed connection across the growing nations. The opening of the Illinois and Michigan Canal in 1848 connected the Great Lakes of Mississippi River system. The same year, Chicago first railroad arrived. Railroads spread out on every direction, making Chicago center of American transportation. Goods flowed through the city. Grain, lumber, livestock, and manufactured products passed through Chicago before reaching other part of the country. The city became known as nation's transportation hub. Factories grew, business arrived, population number exploded. In just 2 decades, Chicago changed from a small frontier settlement into one of America's fastest growing cities. Chicago's loss sawmill and created difficulties. Street became muddy, sanitation problem increased, and disease threatened public health. The city responded with engineering projects that showed Chicago's determination to overcome its environment. Streets were raised, buildings were lifted, and new shower systems were created. Chicago developed a reputation for solving impossible problems. On October 8, 1871, this star struck. A fire began on city's west side and spread rapidly. Chicago was filled with wooden buildings, wooden sidewalks, and metals that allowed flames to move quickly. Around 300 people died, thousands of buildings were destroyed, and nearly 100,000 residents were left homeless. For many cities, such as destruction might have meant collapse. For Chicago, it became a turning point. The city revealed itself. Out of ashes came a new city. The rebuilding period helped create the foundation of modern architecture. Engineers developed new methods of using steel frames, allowing buildings to rise higher than ever before. Chicago became the birthplace of the skyscrapers. By the late 19th century, Chicago had become an industrial powerhouse. The city's stockyards became famous around the world. Millions of animals passed through Chicago for processing and shipment. Railroads connected to the city to every region of the country. Manufactured export companies produced everything from the agriculture equipment to consumer goods. Workers demanded better wages, safer conditions, and shorter working hours. Chicago gained reputation as a both city industry and city of conflict. The struggles between workers and business shaped labor laws and influenced movement across the world. In 1893, Chicago hosted the World's Columbian Exposition. The event celebrated the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus' arrival in America, displays America's technology and cultural achievement. The fair transport public imaginations is grand white building, advanced technology, and beautiful design earned it the nickname the White City. The exposition influenced architecture, art, and urban planning throughout the country. The 20th century brought new challenges. Chicago continued to grow as a center of manufacturing, finance, and transportation, became home to major industries and businesses. During the World War II, Chicago played a critical role in American production. Factories produced steel machines and military equipment needed for the war to effort. The migration transformed the city's culture, especially on the south side. Chicago became famous for its music, including the development of electric blues and the influence on jazz. But the racial tensions still remained. The city experiences discrimination in housing, employment, and education. The 1999 Chicago race riots revealed deep divisions, and the latest civil rights struggles continue throughout the century. Chicago politics became famous for its powerful democratic political machine. Mayor Richard J. Daley who served from 1955 to 1976, became one of the most influential political figures in American history. His administration oversaw major infrastructure projects including highways and airport expansions. However, Chicago also faced criticism over political control, inequality, and conflicts between communities and government. In 1968, the Democratic National Convention in Chicago became the scene of major protest and police clashes that attracted worldwide attention. Harold Washington became the first African American mayor in 1983. Chicago's political history reflected struggle and hopes of its diverse populations. In the 21st century, Chicago continued to reinvent itself. The city has moved away from dependence on heavy industry and developed strengths in finance, technology, medicine, education, tourism. Its university and research institution attract people from around the world. Economic inequality, housing issues, and debate over development remain part of the city's ongoing history. Like every city, Chicago is not defined only by its achievement, it's also shaped by its problem it continues to confront. Movement of people, movement of goods, movement of ideas. It grew because of its river and railroad. It survived far and revealing. It became of a millennials searching for opportunities. From indigenous communities who first knew this island to immigrant arrive who dream of future to generation of innovators who transform the skyline. Chicago has always been a city of change. Its story is not finished yet.